What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it again. Yesterday we got a bombshell trailer from Dragon Ball Super Broly movie 2018/2019 that just dropped, and it was amazing to say nonetheless. I think it almost broke the Dragon Ball Z community's internet because literally all you saw everywhere was just this new image of Broly powering up in that moment where he's fighting Goku, and Goku's already Super Saiyan Blue. His gi and everything is like ripped off and all of this amazing stuff and the new animation style. But something that I wanted to talk about in this particular video is how strong Broly is really, because if you pay attention to the trailer and where they are in the continuity of Dragon Ball Super, remember, this is a canonized story for Dragon Ball Super continuing off of the Tournament of Power. Right now we have Dragon Ball Heroes that is not canon, and every movie that's come out thus far has not really been canon at all. I mean, there's a few that can fit, and the only two that ever really fit was History of Trunks and Father of Goku, which was Bardock. And other than that, if you don't count Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, which got like redone into the show, this Broly movie is the first one that's ever being done into the show where it's canonizing a made-up character for the video games and the movies, and they're making him into something great. Now, if you paid attention to the trailer, we noticed that not only Goku was fighting Broly, Vegeta as well, and Frieza. And if you notice, throughout every stage of every fight, Broly was taking on different forms. This guy looked different in almost every other fight. His eyes would change, or something about his armor would change, or he was powering up to something new. If you noticed, it was the strongest level of Goku right now because his post-tournament of power, strongest level of Vegeta getting defeated, and strongest form of Frieza. Even he was in shock at how powerful this guy was. If you look at the very beginning where they're still in the snowy area, he's fighting Vegeta while Vegeta's still in Super Saiyan. So obviously that's an understatement to where Broly's strength is at, but they said, and they said it out loud, Broly's strength is increasing as the dude is fighting. And if you notice towards the end, Goku seems as though he might have beaten him for a moment there while his shirt is ripped and everything, and he's in Super Saiyan Blue, and then literally he goes off and powers up yet again. This guy pulled out another transformation while Goku looked like he had his back up against the wall. So even Goku's face was in shock. Like, I love the animation detail to what he was giving off as a reaction, because he was like, what is going on? This guy has existed for all this time and he's just this powerful. I think the fact that only Frieza, Vegeta, and Goku, all these guys took him on, and he's still not showing any avail. He's just getting stronger and stronger. I think he's going to be on par with Jiren, or if not stronger, with how fast he's progressing as a warrior, because I don't think if he does start off kind of weak and then he starts to progress, like, honestly, throughout the fight, instead of him actually holding back, I think he's going to have that maximum potential, because one, he's a Saiyan, and with how fast they're making him power up in this movie and how much hype they're giving Broly, and the hype that I think he deserved all along, as long as they change a few bits of his origins, I think this is going to be one hell of a character. Way better than Jiren. Honestly, right now I'm calling it, and this is Super Saiyan Paul saying this, better character than Jiren, because I absolutely love Broly back in the day, even with some of his shallow elements of his storyline. I love the fact that he got stabbed as a kid, and they showed all of these elements. Jiren did not have these character developments. That was one of the biggest flaws of Jiren. A lot of it turned out to be hype, and he had no character development whatsoever. If you looked at that Broly story and his backstory, a lot of the things that he did were connected to the Saiyans, they were connected to Frieza, so already, for me, he's a more developed character. And even if they don't use everything that they used in the base story, some of the new elements seems like they're carrying over from whatever, and some of the main things that kind of made Broly badass are still sticking there, especially with like his quiet demeanor, and his father being involved and stuff like that. I feel like Broly's already more of a complete character than Jiren, and on top of that, I think justifiably it makes him stronger than if he does get the power buff and he becomes stronger than Goku and Jiren. I say it's justifiable because of how powerful he is and how much character development we got out of the guy. What I don't want to see is that they kill him off right after, because if they're fixing his origin stories by Akira Toriyama, and I think they're keeping some of the elements, like the main elements, I think they're going to keep the stabbing through the heart part as a baby, and some of the vengeful stuff against Vegeta and Frieza. Hopefully, because that adds much more of a thrill factor to what he's doing and more of a motivation. I thought the motivation was fine because he's a crazy Saiyan, and the fact that these guys turned their back on him as a baby. So that makes sense against Jiren's, who was very, very short and brief. For Broly to get this much power, it's justifiable because he's a Saiyan, and his backstory, everything fits properly. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you see Jiren becoming weaker than Broly, or Broly becoming even stronger than Jiren in this movie? Do you think, with that being said, that they're gonna have to unleash something brand new, as in a new form, or something that we haven't seen before yet? Because this historical performance that Broly's about to put on which I hope he doesn't end up dying in the end, because I want to see him grow as a character, and I want to see him continued and used for later, not be thrown away just like that. I have a feeling that they're gonna have to bring something new into the table here. Either they're gonna use fusion, or there's Ultra Instinct. Now, the reason why I don't want to sway towards Ultra Instinct is because, for two reasons mainly. One, the creators even said that it was a mistake to make Ultra Instinct, and Mastered Ultra Instinct was just shoehorned in there for more toy sales and stuff like that. So you don't want that used again, and it was the end-all be-all of all things. It was the plot armor instinct, and it wasn't really fair. If Goku uses it, yes, it'll be hype, yes, it'll be great to see, but they're setting this movie up for a new series, if anything, and if we use Ultra Instinct just like that so fast, it's going to kill the thrill of the fight. It's going to kill the thrill of all the hype that they've created here. And if he uses Ultra Instinct in every fight from now on till onward, because of how powerful it is, what's the point of watching the show without any mystery factor if they're going to ever be defeated? Because we know, yes, for the most part, they're going to win because of mainly Dragon Ball Super. It was taking place after Dragon Ball Z, in between the time gap where we knew that they were going to survive. But to add some of that factor where they actually have their backs up against the wall, it's not going to be the case if they just, as soon as they hit the wall, Ultra Instinct flies out of nowhere, plot armor against every movement, and then they defeat everything in one foul swoop. It doesn't make the most sense, but one way that it could work is that Goku isn't the one to get Ultra Instinct used in this movie. If Vegeta manages to use it, or pull out something new that, like he said at the end of the Dragon Ball Super episode, in the final one, that would be interesting. If Frieza pulled something out to defeat him, that would also be really good. The main thing here is questioning if Fusion is going to make a return, and how is Fusion going to be making a return, because if they're canonizing Broly now, they just created a whole new dynamic for where Dragon Ball as a series can go. They just canonized a movie character that was split in some communities because some people love Broly, and obviously it sells because it's the 5th Broly movie, but obviously Broly's a popular character. Now they can pull other popular characters out of other movies. Dragon Ball Heroes kind of tests the water with that, with them putting everything into one mixed bag of goodies. And here, with them canonizing Broly, can they canonize Gogeta? Can they canonize other forms of villains and put them together in some sort of league? You don't know what exactly they can do, but they could do this now that they've actually gone ahead and done this. I think Broly got the slide with this one because him being as popular as he was, and for years I've been preaching this guy was the epitome of what a god should be. He's going to defeat Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and Golden Frieza. This is what I always wanted for Broly, and I think he's getting what he deserves. So it's going to be a great time to see this stuff. But do you guys see them canonizing Gogeta, because he still isn't canon as a character? And do you see them actually taking him down with Fusion? Do you see someone else getting a new form or transformation? And do you see Ultra Instinct making a return? Who here wants to see Ultra Instinct return? Tell me in the comment section below, because I do low-key want to see it, but I don't want to see it used in a way where every single fight from this point on, especially when they're launching a new series, it's going to be the end-all be-all. Let's rely on this to defeat every enemy and then take away all the fun on having other characters take the spotlight. I think, if anything, with Goku's fear in that moment, if you guys looked at the trailer, the fear in his eyes says alone, we need something way, way stronger than what we're currently dishing out to take on Broly. Either new form or fusion for the most part. I don't know if they're going to have any other weapon, but it's going to be a great thing to see. And I like how they're focusing on like the big 3 of planet Earth. We don't see no Android 17 because he's up there in terms of like the top 5 for me, but the big 3, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, the 3 most popular, and then the last movie that came out to theaters, Resurrection F, also the 3 most popular, and all of them got new forms in that one. So I think it's going to be a great time, and it's just going to be one hell of a movie, because you got 3 of the most popular characters, you got the most popular movie villain, if anything, and then they're all clashing into one return for Dragon Ball Super, and then launching a new series. I think they're doing everything right. I think they're doing everything the correct way, and I think this is going to be one hell of a movie that's going to break records. And they know this because they already have it English dubbed. So for them to try to push for a worldwide release so close to one another, instead of making us wait like they did back in the past, they've learned a lot from the fans as well as what they've done. And I think they know exactly what they're doing here. So maybe, if with that being said, they're not going to like try to push the Ultra Instinct agenda that they did in the end of Dragon Ball Super, because if they admitted it's a mistake, knowing them, if they're learning from everything that they've done so far, they're actually going to improve and go beyond. So hopefully someone else besides Goku gets the spotlight. I mean, we always wish for this, but Goku usually does end up getting the final blow. Remember, right now my favorite character right now is Goku, but I just want to see something new show up, and hopefully not too much like something that's just catastrophic that'll just break the series with their power scalings, because remember, we're at where Jiren is at, and where the Grand Priest is at in terms of power level. The Grand Priest being in the top 5, Jiren being one of the strongest fighters above Gods of Destructions, there's a whole new tier of fighters, like I said, and Broly's about to fit that criteria. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Smash that like button, subscribe, as well as turn on notifications for more news, information, and updates. This has been one amazing week for Dragon Ball fans, and I can't wait to see this movie releasing on December 14th. Until next time, everybody, take care. Peace.